Welcome back to Majestic Mondays. As January begins to wind down, I want to remind you of something important. Something many of us forget as the year moves forward. You're allowed to start small, okay? You're allowed to go slowly. And you're allowed to build a life in pieces instead of leaps. We live in a world that celebrates big moves, right? Instant gratification, big announcements, big transformations. But sustainable change, it's usually starts quiet. Small doesn't mean it's insignificant, okay? Small means possible. There have been seasons where starting small felt completely embarrassing to me. Like, I should already be further along. I should already be this excellent dancer. I should already be this podcaster that has a million freaking views. I should be this person who's very well known in my community that I've lived in for almost 3 years now. Like, I should already be further, right? But what I've learned is this: small beginnings are often the ones that last, and they last longer. Since I've moved to Charlotte, I've had to start over. I had to start over with knowing my favorite tea spot or my coffee shop or my favorite park that I want to go to when I need to reconnect to the earth, or because there's no beaches. I'm a beach girl. Oh my goodness, I miss the beach so much. But the closest beach is about 2, 3 hours away. Your girl's not driving there unless she has a full weekend off, which I normally have weekends off now. However, it's cold. It's not the perfect 70-degree weather all year round like it is in San Diego. So I've had to learn my spaces and the places that make me feel home again, right? In my body, in my energy, in my environment, not necessarily back home in Cali. So I've learned that I had to rebuild myself. I had to rebuild my community, whether it's the dance community, whether it's my nightlife community, whether it's my creators community, my spiritual community. That's a big one, right? And it's hard, it's very challenging. However, it's almost 3 years in May. And so I am slowly building that. I'm slowly stepping out into spaces where I'm around other creators. I'm finally going to my dance classes more on a consistent basis now. At least I'm going once or twice monthly, and that is a start from not going at all since I've moved here. Um, and being patient with myself and Charlotte as a city, it changed a lot because it's such a slower pace out here. It is completely different from the big city life and the big state life, right? Where you're constantly moving, you're constantly going, there's constant access to any and everything you want any time of the day. And the resources there are just like, there's just so much resource. And coming to a space where it's not as big, it's not as fast, has changed how, like, one thing that has changed since I moved here is how fast I drive. And that should say a lot because in California, all of our highways are 65, 70. Like, that's minimum. Like, you better not be going under 60 miles per hour because otherwise, like, take the street. Um, but even on the highways out here, there's highways and interstates that are like you got to go 45, 55. Like, and anything faster than that, like, you're gonna get caught, because the speed limit is relatively slower out here. They don't have big 4 or 5 lane highways like they do in Cali or Atlanta. And so for me, like I take the streets everywhere now. Like I used to do that back home because it's just home. I knew where it was. I took the bus a lot too, so I know where to go on the street. But out here, I take the street because it's so scenic for one. There's so many trees. There's so many like different colors, especially in fall. And just to drive in that, it's so nice. And then on the highway, it's like you're still going 45, 50 miles an hour. So you might as well just take the street, for me, anyways. And so, like, that allows me to see more of Charlotte and the city. It's been coming. And I'll drive past a street that I used to drive past all the time, like even just a year ago. And I'm like, wait, that's different. Right. And so slowing down has really allowed me to kind of just settle more in my body, settle more into my surroundings, understanding who I am and where I'm at, and also feeling more in touch with myself. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't taking my time and if I wasn't starting just small and taking a step each hour or each day, and small progress doesn't mean failure at all. At all. So that is one thing that I do appreciate about starting small, and I don't want to push further. Like I'm well, not to say I don't want to push further. I just don't want to push harder. I'm going to be sustainable and move at a pace that feels good to me. So with that being said, I want you to close your eyes if that feels safe. If you don't have to, if you don't want to, but I would like for you to close your eyes, and I would like you to imagine planting a seed. You wouldn't yell at it for not becoming a tree overnight, right? You wouldn't rush it. You would water it. You would give it light. You would trust the process. You yourself are allowed that same grace. Starting small might look like one boundary instead of a complete overhaul, one honest check in instead of a 5-step plan, or one rest day instead of a burnout recovery. Momentum doesn't come from force, it comes from safety. Here are a few affirmations I would like for you to repeat to yourself out loud or quietly. And I want you to take this with you for the rest of the month, the rest of the year, if you can. Small beginnings are still beginnings. I don't need to rush my growth. I trust the timing of my life. What I'm building matters. As January comes to a close, let this be your reminder. You don't need to catch up. You don't need to prove anything. Just keep showing up gently, honestly, and in ways your body can sustain. I'll see you next month as we move into self-love, body trust, and compassion, one soft step at a time.